I'm actually going to do a lesson today that I'm not 100% sure I can pull off. So I think it's going to be really interesting. We're going to talk about hiding reactions. So kind of the idea that you're hiding your reaction from the other actors, the other characters in the scene, but that the audience kind of knows what you're thinking on the inside. And so I'm curious to see how if I can pull this off as an actor. So I'm hoping at the very least you can get the intent that you can see. So that's what we're going to work on. We're hiding it from the other actors, the other characters in the scene, but we're kind of letting the audience know in what we're really thinking. And this is definitely something you'd want to practice in the mirror. So I'm curious, this is my first take. We'll see if another take goes. Now what I wanted to do was take off my glasses. And I may do that for the scene, but I can't read the teleprompter. I can't read the ideas that I had wanted to use without looking at it. So we're going to try this. We're kind of hiding our reactions. Because this is a lesson more than just an actual play or what you would direct. It's for practice because you're using the mirror. There's, you would be looking more at the person and looking away some of those things. I'm going to worry less about that kind of physicality of the scene because that's something you could practice when we, if you were directing or working a play. We're really working on our face here, like what we're kind of doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say what the other people are doing, or the idea, not necessarily specific, but kind of their the mood or what they're giving, and I'm going to try to pretend to that reaction of it. All right, so I'll try my best. Okay, you can judge me if you want. You can tell me how you thought it went, but I'd love to see your own ideas on how to do these. So I'm going to start with, they're going to give good news. So these people have had some good news, and I'm going to pretend to be happy. Maybe it's something that I didn't, I wanted, but they got, and that kind of thing. So, okay. So again, they're cheering, and they're happy, and you're... So that's the idea. So that's what I kind of look at. Now, the key there is that what I would want to try to do is less pretend and more real emotion. So what am I thinking, and what's the motivation? Trying to think, I'm trying to get that smile. I'm trying to smile for them. I'm trying to get that reaction, but I want to break it. So that's what I'm going to try. So I'm going to do bad news, that they give bad news, and I'm going to pretend that it doesn't bother me. So I'm kind of thinking in my mind that it's, I didn't get the job. You did a great interview, and then, I'm like, oh, I'm okay with that. I think it's similar to the other reaction to do. So I'm trying to think of the real thing that happened. I didn't get to do Winnie the Pooh, but I didn't want to show a poor reaction to the youth that were doing it with me. I wanted to kind of be okay with it. So I'm trying to think of those real emotions I had. So here we go. So we get to bad news. I think it's kind of similar to the last one. I think some of these might be that same kind of thing. So I'm curious how it thinks. All right, so the next one does involve a little bit of physical. We're going to talk about, they're going to talking about a friend. They're talking something negative about a friend of yours, and you're pretending not to overhear it. But then, of course, you want to hear it. And we all get this when we engage in gossip, or we say things to another friend about a friend. I do that sometimes. We were talking about with a friend. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to talk about this, but so I'm like, oh, pretending a little bit. So I kind of use that feeling of, how do I sell this to the audience? I want a real character, but I kind of want to use my face a little bit. So I watch other people, how they respond, how they look, but I've got to kind of add that to the audience, how to get that depth. And I think that's the hard part of acting. So let's try that. They're talking about my friend saying that he's not doing a great job with whatever job he's doing. Okay, so that's my attempt. I'm dying to see the video. I'm dying to see how any of these turned out. Okay, so for the next one, I'm going to pretend that the person's right here in front of me, and they're yelling at me because I have done a poor job in my work, and I'm going to try to do my best to not be scared of it, not be scared of that person, that's scared that it's all going to go bad. This is right up my alley. I've had this in work where the boss is just kind of yelling at me, and I feel like I failed at everything. Okay, so here we go. Try my best. They, you start off yelling. You're like, trying to keep the head from drooping. I think the fake smile is the main lesson. Maybe you could, if you want to cut the chase on all this lesson, practice your fake smile. That's what you need on stage. And so we're going to do one more just to kind of finish it up and wrap it up. So I think the key here is try to find the real emotions that you have on the inside, and then what you see in the world when people are trying to hide that, you're trying to mask that emotion. And again, I think acting is that combination of feeling that real emotion and then portraying it. And that's what you need a director for. I've had a lot of directors' notes where like, you know, remember you're supposed to be sad in the scene, your characters, and I'm like, I was sad, like I was pretending to be sad, but it's not coming across. So that's kind of the balance of acting. And I think this is a good lesson to kind of look at that. So others are leaving, they're going on this great journey to go do something, and I'm sad on the inside that they're leaving, but I want to be okay with them. And similar to some of the others, like they're leaving, it's like, oh, bye, yeah, oh yeah, go, yeah, you should go. That's it's a great idea, you know. You know, yeah, you should go. It'd be great. No, oh no, you know, it doesn't bother me any. I mean, it would be cool to go with you. You know, I was invited. So that's my attempt. That's my attempt to do it. So think about that whenever you're working on plays or you're working on a character. How do you convey one emotion and try to hide it? Try to mix those emotions, having more than one emotion at a time. Start by finding that real thing and then move towards the acting. So find that real emotion, whatever you're really feeling the scene, and convey it. I think that's what good books do. And I teach a lot of inferring when kids read. What are the characters really thinking? Not what they say, but what are they really feeling? And that's an actor's job when you look at a script. Not just what they're saying, but how do they feel? Look early in the script, look late in the script. I did that some with Eeyore. Eeyore is very gloomy and very sad and thinks the whole world is going to end all the time. But I found all these incidences where he's really interested in what the other characters are saying and has some hope. So how can I start to build that hope in a character, right, and then try to hide it in gloom again. So I'm trying to, you know, how do I convey that? And that's what a good actor will look at. Maybe a better one than you saw in this video.